Hello, everyone. So today I thought I would talk about the best of the strongest retinols. Retinal is approximately 10 to 11 times stronger than retinol. So when you see certain percentages of retinol, you might see retinol that looks a lot stronger in numbers, but retinol is weaker than retinal. Uh, Retinol is stronger because it requires one less conversion step into your skin to make retinoic acid. So retinol is great. It stimulates collagen production in your skin, therefore helping to fight wrinkles and fine lines. Speeds up skin cell turnover. A lot of people put it in the category of like an exfoliant. It's not really an exfoliant per se, but it does speed up skin cell turnover, but it's not the same as an exfoliant. So it helps reduce the appearance of hyperpigmentation, dark spots, and acne scars. Because of that, retinol is great for anti-aging, fighting acne, clearing up skin tone, and increasing skin firmness. And it's a gold star ingredient for anti-aging, as well as fighting breakouts and things like that. So these are some of the strongest. My first one is prescription tretinoin. It's not really retinol, but if you're looking for the strongest of the strong out there, that's going to be it. I use Altrino. I love it. I have pretty good luck with it. I find it more hydrating than a lot of other prescription products. But again, it's a little bit different class, but I thought I'd mention it because if you're looking for the strongest thing out there, prescription is going to be it. Next level is going to be retinal. So, first up, I've got the Geek and Gorgeous A Game 20. Da, 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 da. Here we go. So this one contains 0.2% retinalhyde. It also contains Ectoin, Allantoin, and Panthenol for soothing your skin. It's cruelty-free and vegan. And I think Ectoin is having a moment because every brand right now and their sister is coming out with an Ectoin product. So try it out if you are into Ectoin. But this stuff is really wonderful and pretty affordable. And the next one I'm going to mention is the Ordinary Retinal Emulsion, which also has the exact same percent of retinal. It's got 0.2% retinalhyde. It also contains Symsitive, which is an ingredient molecule that it stops the reaction of feeling of stinging and burning sensation on your skin. So if you go use something that's really irritating, this ingredient kind of stops it in its tracks. So it's kind of an interesting ingredient. Haven't seen it in a lot of stuff, but it's nice to see it in here. Then it also contains ginger root and bisabolol that are also both soothing. Ginger root is going to be beneficial for your skin. Ginger oil, probably not so much. So these two are kind of twins in a way. The Ordinary may look cheaper. However, if you compare it on a price per milliliter, the Geek and Gorgeous ends up being a little bit more affordable because the one from the Ordinary is a very tiny bottle. It's half the size. So if you're going to compare the prices, take that into account because sometimes the Ordinary isn't always the cheapest brand. A lot of the time, most of the time it is, but not always. Okay, next up is the Avene Retrinal. I didn't realize this until today, but they have two different versions. They have a 0.1 and then a 0.05 version. So the one I have is the 0.1 version. That's what I'm talking about today. So this one's got 0.1% retinalhyde, and it also contains vitamin E, as well as their highly regarded thermal spring water for soothing your skin. They've got it in a mist as well, their soothing spring water. I don't know. I'm curious if a lot of you guys have tried their spring water. Apparently this might be La Roche. No, I think it's Avene they've got a thermal bath that people can go and soothe their skin if they have eczema and things like that. So it's kind of interesting. I want to check that out sometime in my life. The thermal bath water. I probably should have done it when I was in Hungary, but nobody wanted to go with me, so I didn't do it. Okay, next up is Medicate, and I don't have this specific strength, but the Medicate Crystal Retinal, there's now two new versions from the last time I purchased it. They've got a 20 and a 24, and you guessed it, the 20 has 0.2% retinalhyde, and the 24 has 0.24% retinalhyde. So these are not that strength. This one's, at the time I purchased it, the 10 was the highest you could get, but now they've got two higher strength. And if I'm correct, I believe the Medicate 24 is probably the highest retinal out there that I can think of, non-prescription. So then it also contains cloudberry seed oil and vitamin E. They do contain vanilla, which is fine, but it also contains coumarin, which is technically a fragrance ingredient, and it gives products a vanilla scent. So it's got vanilla and coumarin, so it definitely has a vanilla scent in there. So keep that in mind if your skin is sensitive. And sometimes the prescription ways can be kind of expensive for people, but if you start looking at some of these, like the Medicaid ones, these are not cheap. They get to be pretty pricey. So in the long run, it might be better to maybe see a dermatologist or like an online um, consultation and maybe get something prescription. If you're thinking about the Medicaid stuff is expensive. The Geek and Gorgeous, the Ordinary, not too expensive. Avene, starting to get up there. Medicaid, really up there. Okay, a couple more. Next up is the Paula's Choice Pro Retinalhyde Dual Retinoid Treatment. So this one contains 0.1% Retinalhyde as well as 0.16 Adapanoid, which is the newest member of the retinoid family. So far, there's only 2 or 3 products on the market with Adapanoid in it that I'm aware of. One is Paula's Choice, the other one is from Skin Fix, and there might be a third one out there now, but I have not tried that one. So the one from Paula's Choice also contains mushroom, vitamin E, and jojoba seed oil. And this one starts to get kind of expensive as well. I think it's around $70. So it gets expensive. If you're interested in Adapanoid, the one from uh, Skin Fix is a little bit more affordable. Okay, a couple more. Next up is the Theramid Clinical Vitamin A Treatment, which I haven't reviewed yet, but I will review soon. So this one is interesting. It contains 3 different retinoids. We've got 5% gram-active retinoid. We've got 0.3% retinol. And then we've got 0.1% liposomal retinal. So it's got 3 of them in there. The gram-active retinoids, I'm not so sure how strong those really are or how effective they really are. But when you combine them with other retinoids in there, I'm a little bit more likely a believer in that. So it also contains ceramide and algae and then vitamin E for hydration. So I love Theramid. I love their packaging too. They do a really nice job. So really nice brand, nice glass bottle. And then one more, and then 2 other things to mention. So, last but not least is the May Love Moonlight Retinal Super Serum. I will say this does have fragrance in it. It contains bergamot oil, orange oil, and grapefruit oils. They're not strong, but there is a citrus scent to it. So, if you're going to use this, be aware of it. Certainly don't use it during the daytime. So this one contains 0.11% retinalhyde. It also contains bisabolol, cloudberry seed oil, and green tea. And then runner up I have, just because of how expensive it is the Allies of Skin Retinal Peptides Overnight Mask. This they also now have 2 versions of this: the stronger version, which is the 1, or the weaker version, which is the 5. It's expensive. The brand's gotten really pricey. So yeah, I don't love that. But it also contains other peptides in there which are nice for anti-aging. And I like the packaging. It's a little bit more travel friendly. And then if you're not into the super strongest retinoids, Geek and Gorgeous has the A Game 10 and the A Game 5, which are both more gentle, but always be very cautious starting it. Start it slow in your routine. Use it with moisturizers. The sandwich method is a great one. So in your evening routine, you apply a thick moisturizer, then you apply your retinoid, and then apply a thicker sleeping mask or a thicker moisturizer over it just to prevent dryness. Start out slow. Start out, you know what, maybe if you're newer to retinoids, mixing one of these with a little bit of moisturizer is not a bad way to start. So slow is the way to go with it. You don't want to start too fast because you don't want to irritate your skin. And trust me, starting too fast will make you never want to try retinoid again. Because I started one time with a prescription retinoid, tretinoin prescription, and it was a gel formula. I think it had a lot of denatured alcohol in it as well. And using that on my face once made me never want to use that one ever again. And I never did because it really irritated my skin and it took a long time to heal. So slow is the way to go. But if you're more experienced, these are some nice options as well. So anyway, curious if you guys have had a chance to check any of these out. And if you have, what your thoughts are, leave a comment. Okay, thanks so much.